Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the session. I think we have taken a long gap. So this is my session number ninth to this particular batch, and I have one more session. I think next week we are closing that. So today is the ninth session, and we have one more session, that is 10th session. And those who are not received the last session link, so I'll just share now. Right now, I can share that. So playback video link is there for session number 8. So I'm going to share that with yeah, there is a playback video link, so you can collect that. Now, as we know that we have already completed HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP in false method, and even I promised that I will tell you what is all about the true method. We have seen false method in the last session, and same concept. If you talk about true method, here I'm talking about some different example. For example, here there is a true. We have seen that false method. False method, the data is tagged based on the exact data available within the table, and the exact data can be replicated. But when I use true method, the first method here, so that is something like approximate method. Suppose I'll just tell you example. Maybe I'll just delete this, the existing one. I'll delete all the formulas and rules. Okay. Now I'm starting with is equal to VLOOKUP. All right. VLOOKUP is the as usual formula. Now, before I get into this syntax, let me tell you something about why we need this true method. Now, suppose in column A, there are certain names, right? Abby, Sui, Dash, right? There are certain names, Shiv, certain names are there. And assume that these are the people, sales guys. They have done the sales. Okay, some random numbers are available. They have done the sales like 2 lakhs, 1,51,200. Now there are certain sales. Now we don't know how to apply the commissions. Commission based on the target table. We have fixed, company has fixed certain commissions. If you do, this is actually independent data table, right? Here there is no formula, and here also there is no formula, just an independent data table. Company decided or defined, if salesperson brings 50,000 rupees sales value, for him we are giving as incentive as a 1%, which is 1% of 50,000, or 1% of 2 lakhs, or 2% of 2 lakhs, like that. Now we have defined that if he does 50,000 rupees, so we will pay them 1%. If he does 75, so we have 2%. So slabs are created like that. You can say 2 lakh 25, or maybe the intervals. Now it is 50,000, next is 75. So 25,000 difference is there. So even according to that, you can also start from 0, or 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. That also you can do. So this is something like company is looking for some quite a good type of money. So here there is 50,000. Now this is only the data table to reference. Now we don't know, because by seeing 2 lakh, so Mr. Abbey has done 2 lakh sales as per the data. So here also there is no formula. Assume that he has done 2 lakhs. So by seeing the data table, okay, 2 lakhs is available here. So we can go with the 7%. 1,51,200 is there. So nearby value, so that he can go with a percentage number or a commission number 5, or percentage available is 5. So to do this manually, we are using true method. Approximately refer this data table and take the sales commission from here, or the commission value from here, and place it here. So instead of we do manual work, so we are asking computer to, or formula to do the automatic job. So here actually is equal to we look up, starting with the formula. We look up. The first syntax starts about lookup value. Where what we have to look up now? Now we have to look at the sales value of a Abby. So because we have to see this formula has to see lookup value. I'm just clicking on that particular cell B4 where my lookup sales value is there, comma, because when I drag this formula to the next level, so instead of B4, here B5, B6 until B10 it should go. So here B4, comma, that is what lookup value. What is the table array? Because usually in earlier case what we have seen within the table we used to apply this, but now we have a separate table as a reference. So table array is this to this. Don't take the label because label is not required. So table array is this. If at all table, that is what the label array, comma, what is the column index number? Now, which column index number we are talking about? Either this is the column number like A, B, C. So column number 3, or we have to talk about column number 2 here. See, this is 1 and this is 2 here. Because what we are looking at ultimately, we are looking at the commission number. What is number is defined here. What are the numbers? So that number from the table array. So commissions are written in column number 2. So I'm typing column number 2 here. I can't write anything from here because here only we are having the formula, not the data. So from this reference table, from the column number 2, get the commission, variable commission based on the sales amount. So that is number 2, comma. Now we have, anyway we have learned this exact match. So we are going with the true match, true method. So bracket close, enter. Now we can see as soon as I enter the formula, so my commission, so because we know that he's already done 2 lakhs, so he is eligible for 7% commission. So 7% is immediately applied here. Now we may think that okay, one formula is ready, we can just drag this below. We can't do that now. Why? I hope you remember the absolute referencing method and relative referencing method. My formula at present, it is there in the relative referencing method. When I drag this formula to the next cell, instead of B4, it is asking for B5. That is fine because it has to trace the value from here. That is for B4, B5, B6 or till B10. But this should be a relative referencing. But this cannot be a relative referencing because at present my table array says F4 to G10. Reference table F4, F column from the 4th row. So F4 to G10. When I drag the formula, relatively F4, instead of F4 it will show F5 in the next cell. Then instead of G10 it will show G11, because I'll just show you that how it happens. Now when I drag this formula to the next cell, next 3-4 cell, we are getting some result. But check the table. Now here when I click my F4, my table is fixed for first row. Now next one, when I take my cursor, see this table is switching its rows. It is eliminating the first rows. Even in the next case, you can see here, next case, or maybe this case, you can see my table is almost switching, almost 3 rows are left over because relatively it is going with the trend, relative trend. So we may get, sometimes we may get the correct result or we may not get the result. Till here it's okay. But as soon as if I take my value somewhere here, see the error starts because this table array is switched over to this much area where my data is not there, only one row is there. Because see, this case, the last case, 60,000 is supposed to refer these 2 rows, but rows are not there with the formula because it is switched over to the next rows. So better, before we apply same formula, think what all the things is required for relative referencing, what is not required for relative referencing. Now in this case B4, the starting number, that is lookup number, that can be relative because whenever I drag the formula, instead of B4, next formula should refer this cell or this cell because for different people. Now I am not going to touch this part. But here I'm going to convert this part into, here this particular part into absolute referencing. I should not move from this table. How to convert this into absolute referencing? We have the option F4 is a keyboard option. Highlight entire section here. I'll show you once again. From F4 to G10, highlight that and just hit F4. So when you do that F4, okay, when you do that F4, so everything is fixed now. So your formula is ready to replicate, but we have not done the first component, which is B4, because it is not required. So now it is referring B4. Next it has to go to B5. So that is the relative referencing. This is absolute referencing. So this entire thing we call it as partial referencing method. Partially relative, partially absolute. Now we are free to drag the formula for remaining people. Why? Now you can see that my table is fixed. From first to last row, table is fixed so that we have a correct result. So now see, this value is 60,000. So 50 and 75, the difference it will say, so it is applied with the minimum number. It look for, or maybe if I say 65,000, 65,000, say this, or maybe 70,000. So it will go with that, the range, particular range. As soon as it says 75,000, then it will go with the second number. Until then, it will be the same case. Now here 2 lakhs, so 7 is there. If I increase this 3 lakhs, so 4 and above, we have limited that to 2 lakhs and the 7%. So now commission, we came to know that this is what the commission applied or given, because this is system generated. We have not done any manually. We can do that later stage. If you say that he has done, instead of 2 lakhs, he has done 3 lakhs, so give him 1% extra. That is manual understanding or mutual understanding within the system. That is a different case. Now we know the commission for the sales made by these people. Now we can go with the total commission. So he has done a 3,000 sales, so we have to give him this salary, this month's salary. Along with this month's salary, we have to pay him 7% commission on this 3 lakhs. So how to do that is equal to, this is the value B4 into, sorry, B4 into commission. We know now commission is C4. Where is commission? C4 divided by 100. We know that. So 7% of 3 lakhs. So 21,000 we have to pay the commission. Now same thing can be dragged to remaining sales guys, because now here we don't have to convert that into relative or absolute. So it should be a relative, because this formula is ready. Same can be applied to here, because we are not referring any table. So instead of 3 lakhs, this is taking B5 into C5 divided by 100, or this is taking B7 into 5 divided by 100. So that's how the true methods can be applied. Even one more method I can take. One more method. One more. So I think this is clear now, because true method, you people have wanted to do true method. So that's what I've taken true method, where we have approximate data to tag within the range. One more example. One more example. There is a column, first column, second column. Nothing to do with any calculation. Say first name and the second name of a student. Now we have this, I think the RAND between we have already discussed so many times. To generate the number, random numbers, I have used RAND between formula. If at all RAND between formula is not required, doesn't matter. We can also straight away use one simple static number. Okay. Now how to apply? So based on the marks, how to apply the grade? That is the question now. Based on the marks, how to apply the grade? So to apply the grade, same way like earlier case, we have defined if he scores he scores totally 25, so we say fail, or he scores 50, we say E grade or maybe F grade. This is not nothing to do with excellent or fail or nothing like that. So just a grade A, B, C, D. So if we score 150. So why 150? We are given 25 as the minimum score, maximum as 150. So within that range, if anybody scores the different variable numbers, so nearby values approximately applied. So now here again the same method. Maybe I can do it once again. Here is equal to VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. You do whatever you want. Then lookup value is marks, ultimately marks. Then the table array is this one, and in that what we are looking at, so we are inserting formula to get the grade. So grade is in column number 2 in this case. So you can say column number 2, comma, method is true. That means approximate method, approximately based on the marks displayed here, tag the grade. So that is what the formula is talking about. So 45, something like that, F only, that range only. Now we have to drag the same formula below. So again the method is same, F4 to G9, hit F4. So that is converted to absolute referencing. Now drag the formula. So whenever you can check 109 C grade 109. So nearby value, approximate value 88 D, 131 B, right? And whenever we do this refresh option, see this 149. Whenever we refresh this, so grades are changing now and then based on the number where we have a randomly run number. Or maybe sometimes if I say minimum is 100, say minimum is 100, maximum is 150. Or maybe I can say maximum is 170. Example. So same formula, I'll drag this. Now everybody is minimum scoring 100 and maximum is 170. Now see this. The option whenever we refresh, so minimum is 100. So minimum is C, then B. Minimum is C, then B, then A, because somebody is scoring more than 150. That is A. So 156, 167. So this way also we can tag the values, tag the grades using true method. So this is what I wanted to communicate in the last session itself. But anyway, so we have seen this. So you can practice. Anyway, I'll go to share the same thing, same Excel sheet, later stage. Just save this, and I'm moving on to the next topic. The chart option. So we would like to see some of the, maybe I can spend around 10-20 minutes on this, the chart option. So usually during conditional formatting we have seen how to format the values based on data bars, color scales or icon sets we have seen. But apart from this, we have something like chart option, how to insert a chart, how to modify the chart, how to change one type to another type. So these are the dynamism they have added here in 2010 and 13 and 16. So as soon as you highlight the data, how to insert the chart now? First you highlight the data. Once you highlight the data, go to insert. Whenever we want to insert something, whether it is table or a pure table or a chart or an image or a shape, think that we supposed to go to insert menu where there is an insert option. Then in that, chart is a segment. So I'll come little bit later on pure chart and pure table. Let us complete this. So here we have something like recommended chart or recommended pure chart, that is also available. So let us only talk about chart now. So these are the options recommended. So once you click on this, you have the various option, all chart or recommended chart based on the data provided or data highlighted. So system is going to tell you that, so these are the charts are ideal for your selected data. Now that is your call whether you are satisfied with these options, or we may have to search for other chart from the all chart bar. So one and the same. So again, so this is bar chart or a pie chart, all are available here, or a line chart. But when I click on all chart, so we have an option like column wise, line wise, pie, bar, right? So these are the various scattered chart, surface, radar, so the web radar. So various options are available. Now let me take any one, say maybe line or a column. Now in that column there are options, cloud clustered column or a 3D is available, right? And some cases when you insert a 3D, some options are not going to work because of 3D content. So better we'll go with the normal one. Later stage we can convert that to 3D. So in normal 2D option or a normal option, clustered one or a combinational one, they're all available here. So just apply this, right? Apply this and say OK. Now chart is ready based on the selection. Chart is ready now. Based on the selection, chart is ready where you have Apple or sales in rupees. Everything is available in this case. Now, once you create a chart, we can move this chart side by side. So, yeah. So this is what the chart looks like based on the input given. Now, sometimes we feel that this is too congested, where the data is also there, where the chart is also there. Is there any option to move this to a new particular sheet, new Excel sheet? Whether it is possible or not possible, we will see one by one. Right click on the chart option, right click on the chart and say, okay, first you select the chart, right click and say move chart option. So there are other things I will tell you one by one. So move chart option. When you click on move chart, so object in any other Excel sheet, like already we have some Excel sheet like HLOOKUP or chart with range or true data. Some sheets are available. Whether you would like to move this chart to those Excel sheet or you require a new sheet. So there is an option. When you say object in, where you would like to move. Existing Excel sheet which is shown here. Same options are available. So it is one and the same, where now we are in chart number 2, where the data table as well as the chart is in the same sheet. So we are feeling a little bit uncomfortable while seeing the data because very small data table and chart. So better move that to a full screen where I can click on new sheet, and you can also provide new sheet name. Say you can say Manipal. I just provide name as Manipal Pro. Okay, and click OK. Now we have started from the chart, this particular sheet, and we have created the chart and we have moved that to Manipal Pro. Alright, and you can provide any type of name for a new chart. Now that chart is available in full screen. You can see that full screen. There is no other data table. There is no distractor. So we can you can check this data table, and you can have vertical scroll bar or horizontal scroll bar to check the data table. Now this is how one of the option to move the data. Now whenever the data changes, for example here if suppose if I say instead of 100, if I say 250, so calculation changes, and here also see this calculation also change automatically. See 250, earlier it was 100, that I changed to 250, immediately reflected in the chart because it is dynamic. Immediately it reflects the updated value which is provided in the Excel sheet. Now once we have moved this sheet or Excel chart in a new window, there are other things. So here we have design as well as format. So first, design. So what are the things we can apply on the existing chart? So starting with add chart element. So we have these are the elements. So axis, like primary axis, horizontal axis, that means the axis lines horizontal or vertical. So primary axis is required, or you required uh, primary vertical is required, that you can decide. See, primary vertical or horizontal, these lines are, we can activate or deactivate any point of time. So here primary horizontal or a primary vertical, those lines are available. Similarly, axis titles, primary horizontal or primary vertical. Here you can concentrate on here and here. So primary horizontal, here in this case axis title will come up. Primary horizontal axis title, below the banana entry there is axis title. Then again the primary vertical, that is also there. See here, this data is also available. You can type anything if you want. You can type here also, you can type anything you want. So if you want any references to be used, you can use. In this case right here, you can use anything, any data if you want, you can use it here. I'm just adding some dummy characters. So this is what in design, the axis titles. Then chart title. So we are talking about what is the data all about. So that is what the axis title, horizontal and the vertical axis title. Now the chart title. At present it is none. You can say above the chart or center overlay or whatever it is. So above the chart. So where it is? Here. So we are talking about the chart title. You can say Manipal chart. Example. You can provide anything. Manipal chart. So that is the chart title. So this is axis grid line, axis titles. Next one is chart title. Above the chart, center overlay. Center overlay means somewhere here it will come. Center overlay or none. None means it will go off. So there is no title here. There is no title. Chart title above the chart. So we can provide that. Once you remove that, existing name is removed. Okay, so there is a chart title. Then data labels. So at present you are finding very few data on chart, so it's in a none condition. Center data labels, or here center. So we can get the data which is there in the Excel sheet. Here these are the data. Data means numerical values. So those data can be popped up. In this case, you can say all the data 250 and 60. See 250, 240, 60,000, 60%, everything is available. 250. See here 240 into 250. So that is the value. Then the 60%. So like that for every entry there is a option. So that is where the data label working out. So center or inside or outside, that you can decide, or outside the field or data call out, however you want. So if I click on data call out, so my data is reflected with call out boxes. I hope you know what are the call out boxes. It's like a directional box where we can show the labels or any type of special content towards the bar chart. So this is what the data call out here. Data labels. We are in data call out or outside or inside the base. You can do that. Then data table. At present none with the legend keys. Data table. What do you mean by data table? So table is here. This particular table I'm talking about. So this is the base data for chart creation. Okay. Now for this data table, whether you want to highlight in the chart itself. So when I say with legend key, no legend keys. What do you mean by none with legend key and no legend key? So none means we don't have any additional thing visible on screen with legend keys. So when I hit this, So data table is generated from where? From this particular table itself. It is created inside the chart. So data table also embedded, and see Apple 240, so orange, everything is available. Every data is available inside the chart itself. Then no legend keys, because we have already legend keys. Legends are it's a representative color for a particular point, say price per kilo, sales in rupees, percentage of total sales. They are the legendary entries, main entries in the data table. So that can be enabled or disabled. No legend keys within the table I'm talking about. Here see this color within the table, because we have already there on the screen. I don't want to put once again. So with legend key, no legend key. No legend key means there is no dotted line or a dotted colors, because we can refer to this what it is exactly, from where we are getting the colors. Then error bars. So I think this is actually not required. So error bar, percentage, so just to know the percentage of total values, so that can be implemented. Standard error or a percentage or a standard deviation. So these are the things based on calculation. So anyway, it is not required now. So error bars, then the grid lines. Next one is grid line, primary, major. Grid lines are the lines. These are the lines. So we have primary vertical, primary center, so primary major, so primary major. See this grid lines, horizontal and vertical altogether. So that is applied. Similarly, primary major vertical, primary minor vertical. So within the graph sheet, so these lines I'm talking about. So these lines, primary, vertical, primary, horizontal. So that everything can be activated in one shot. So that's what the grid line. Then the legends. Legends are none. None means here this numbers, price, blue color, sales in rupees, red color, percentage of total sales, green color, so that we can eliminate. You can check, take your cursor, don't apply anything, take your cursor. As soon as you take your cursor, the legend entries are no more on the screen. Here this this blue, red, green, when I say none, those entries are not there. Then right side, so here it will come in this location, right side. See this legend entries are here, right side. Then top, somewhere here. You decide where you'd like to push this legendary entries or legend colors. So left side. Usually we not do any left side. Most of the cases either below or right, or some cases top, not at the left side. Then the bottom. Usually we find that more space below the chart, so we can go with the bottom one, and it is the ideal one. See here. What is blue? So that blue line. What is red? The red line. Then what is the percentage? The percentage is already mentioned, specified there. So that is the legend entries in all chart element. Then trend line and all, maybe I can take it through maybe a little bit later, because I need to, or maybe I can apply this trend line or a linear exponential. We can have that trend line. So trend line, we can check that here, trend line. It is none now. So you can say linear trend line or exponential trend line and linear forecast. So if you say linear, so which one to select, price or sales rupees or percentage of total sales, which one you want, you decide the sales in rupees or maybe percentage of total sales. So we have the trend line bar, percentage of trend line. So that is what very less actually. So trend line is available. And even see this option, list of linear, list of exponential, those things are already shown here, in somewhere here it is shown here because it is extracted. So exponential operation or linear operations we can show with the help of the trend line. or even linear forecast, that is also available, sales in rupees. Linear forecast, see this, sales is decreasing because it was high with Apple, then it was manageable, then towards the bottom left side. So you can see that the trend line is closing down. So business is moving out. So that can be shown using trend line. Then linear forecast, that is also there. Wherever you find the dotted line, so somewhere here dotted line, it is very tiny line, not able to make out. So those lines are available. You can check. Then next thing is the quick layout. If you want to change the layout of the chart, because sometimes people love to have data table along with the normal chart. Now here the layout is talking about the plain layout or layout with, hope you are able to see this. So layout with the multiple entries or the simple legends with the data table and call out with the combination. Okay, these are the just option to change the pattern of your chart, nothing else. Then color combination. You are going with colorful or single color, multiple shades, that is also possible. And you have something like colorful. So you can also go with the colorful. And next is chart style. So this is chart layout and this is done. This is only color and chart styles are there. Like styles are something like this. So if you want the background color or for a 3D effect and all, we have the chart styles. So based on the chart styles, designs are there. You can change the designs. You can say change the designs, shape outline, and the effect, glow effect or shadow effect that can be applied. That is from design actually, chart style from the design menu. Then again, you have option to access title, chart, labels, if you want to activate everything so that we have everything on screen. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 element. Now suppose you decided you are not satisfied with the line or whatever is there here. So if you want to change the chart type, so option is right click and change chart type. Otherwise, here is the option, change chart type. Suppose you want to apply this thing to something else like linear or pie or say, okay, let me take pie itself. So in pie also there are options, 3D one, normal one, that is there. I can change the color combination to a different shape, which is pure table. And pure table also there is option. Municipal education, Apple, very low cost, so marginal one, so that's visible. And again you can have a data. Okay, any point of time, if you want to change this, any type of chart, so there is an option change chart style, or if you want go with a scattered one or a bubble chart, so in that 3D bubble is there. So if you want to change that, so there is an option. And as you know that whenever uh, so as of now I'm just using constant data. So if at all using, say for example, if I use a rand between randomly created numbers from 100 is minimum, say 500 is the maximum. Right. So whenever I hit F9 key, so I can check that. So my bubble chart is moving, or maybe I can change that too. So again, we have some more options, and yeah. So I have some more options here. So my data changes, fluctuates. My uh, bubble chart is also fluctuating. Data is also fluctuating. Also, we have something like select data option. You understood transforming of data. I think in second or the third session, transforming of data, which is changing the dimension of a table. Control C, and we have seen that transformation, data transformation, horizontal to vertical or vertical to horizontal. Similarly, here we have select data option or row or column option. See this, row or column option or select data option, that is also available. So what do you mean by this data transformation? Right here, select data, then there is an option, sub options are available like Apple 250, Orange 130, if at all required. So you can remove that, apply that, so we don't have anything on screen. Select data, whichever is only one data required, you can apply one data. So that is selecting of data. You can activate any point of time. Again, you can come back with more and more options, background or with the data, without data. So you can just take your cursor, you will get this option, right? So these are the basic option available in chart. And even one more thing, I would like to tell you something. So even sometimes we have a data with a range, not a specific data, with a range. So this is also one of the example. Sales range 50 to 100, 75 to 200. So these are the range. So this also we can go with insert recommended chart. This time I can take recommendation from the system. So system is recommending to go for this or this. Anyway, this I'll take up recommendation. So again, based on the recommendation, the range is defined. So 50, 100, see this 50, 100, 75 to 100, 100 to 150, and 250 to 350. So that range is generated. Normal range is generated. Now here in the range also legends are there. Hope you are able to see this. Maybe I can make little bit smaller. Yeah. So there is a legend entries, blue, red and green. So quarter 1 is blue, quarter 2 is red, and quarter 3 is green. So we have Q1, Q2, Q3. So see the numbers. So that is defined. And again, these are the options. You can go with the 3D, you can go with the monochromatic color, or you can go with the combinational one, or you can go with a quick chart with horizontal axis, vertical axis with the data table. So this is something interesting with the data table. Even though you have a data here, that can be implemented just inside the chart. So that is also there. And even here, switch data to row to column or column to row. That is also available. So 50 to 100 become legend entries now. Then quarter 1, 2, 3 will become the numbers. So switch row to column, column to row. So quarter 1 wise definition or quarter 2 wise definition. So any combination you can check. And even selection of data. Now selection of data. So suppose you don't want all the ranges like 50 to 350. There are 4 ranges, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if at all something is not required, you can remove 50 to 100 or 100 to 150. That range can be removed. So whichever is available. Just a minute. I think. Yes, definitely we can add any type of. That's what I said. Suppose. Yeah. I'll put one more column here in between. Insert, say for example, date. Okay, somebody wanted to have a date here, so maybe date I can have, say today is 20th 11 2016, and I'm dragging the dates here. Maybe next date, various date. So I have added new date again. In selection of data, so these two things can be implemented. Because as of now, we have added column with the date, but we have not tagged that to the chart because additional column inserted, additional dates are included. Now, in selection itself, we can add this, the source, right? The source is there, right? So we can change the source is equal to okay. So I just edited my data range. I highlighted everything and I just included this date and the column also because it was not there earlier. So I just added and click OK. So now date is also added. In this case, see this range beside the range. So there is a date also 20th, 50 to 100. This is 75 to 100. That range is also added. Again, quarter 1, 2, 3 is actually differentiated, or maybe you can switch that column to date. So this is how is going to display 50 to 100 range, then the quarter 1, 2, 3. So that is switching our data. That is possible. Or even normal chart also, that is possible. You can have a date, then on so and so date apple, so and so date orange. So that also we can add one more row and we can present. Yeah, definitely, Lavanya, I'm going to host one more session next week, and this is my 9th session for your reference. And today I'm going to cover even pure chart as well as the normal chart, if possible data consolidation also. And next session, I think remaining macros and applications are available. So that is also I'm going to complete. So this is how we can insert chart, we can work with the design, we can work with chart styles, right? Or we can work with the quick layout option, we can work with the colors or single color, multiple scale, or multiple shades. That is also possible. Or apart from that, we have these other options to activate. So you can see one by one. I don't think so you require more explanation on this. Or even in trend lines are available. You can also add a trend line. So trend lines, linear or exponential trend line. If at all trend line, say which one you want. Say quarter one you want, you can go with the quarter one trend line. Then again trend line, you want the quarter two, so quarter two trend line. So like that you can add trend line for maybe linear forecast also. You can add a trend line. So that is there, and is clearly defined that. See the trend line. It says series quarter one trend line one, and it says the pop-up message also says so quarter two trend line one, or there is exponential trend line two. Or maybe you can go with line chart. So you can also go with the line chart. If line chart, again chart styles are different. So you can see the trend line with a number tagged 65, 122, 163, then 443, 297, 133. See, suddenly 443, high value, quarter one. Second value is 297, somewhere here. Then 138, so falling. Data is falling. So higher value, then the next higher, then the next higher. So that also we can define trend line. Okay, now even sometimes what happens, we can build the chart one by one. Suppose here, if I highlight only one column, insert recommended chart, okay, line or a bar chart. So one line chart is ready, fruit apple, and the define, because only labels are available, nothing else. So this is ready. Now we can select the data one by one. So this is fruit, apple or orange, that is there. Or you can go with another method. You can say insert chart, so straight away method, and selection of data. Second quarter is not required. Second quarter is not required. Or second quarter is required, first quarter is not required. That is also possible. Simultaneously, we can build the data. And even we can add something more here. We can add something more. Add. So what is the series name? So series name is here, and the series values are here. As of now, there is no value. Example, there is no value. Okay, no value, but something is added as the dot one. So here I just type Manipal, or maybe first quarter, second quarter, maybe future sales. As soon as I type future sales, that is implemented. Then data, say future sales are expected to 125, say 140, say 98, just an example. Then 890, sorry, high value, right? So future sales we have added later stage. So that is just to highlight with select data. So whenever you want to add more columns, so here we have to add. So at present, this column you're talking about, add series name, that is label. You just highlight this row, then the series values. These are the values. Careful while providing the data. So series values. So blank series, blank data. but for that legendary entries are created. So now here test. So test is generated. So data is generated. So we have a blue, red, green and violet. So these are the colors, and at the same time these are the options. Selection of data, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, or sorry, future sales and the test pertaining to apple, mango. So because we are adding column, but fruit items are same. So that is nothing to do with the column combination. If at all you are adding one more thing, so we have to add one more thing. So it will go to the entire table range. Entire table range. Here, this is what the table range. If at all we are adding one more fruit and the numbers below, so that we have to add instead of E6. E6 is somewhere here stopping, so we have to add E7. So you have one more row to implement. If at all you are doing one more fruit, so here instead of E6, E6 is column E, 6 is the row where my data ends. If you want one more row to be added, maybe one more row means for one more fruit, say watermelon with first quarter data, second quarter data, future sales data and the test data. So instead of that E6, you have to write E7. So E7 is one more line. E7, see this one more line is added here for the data. As soon as if I type quarter, then the date. So both the way, horizontal or vertical, you can add this data. So we have that combination. And even we can convert that row to column called row. So we have one more watermelon or whatever it is. So apple, orange, mango, banana, pineapple and water. So that data is also implemented. Anyway, so you can practice this chat option. Next I'm moving on to let me clear something. So I have data and clear outline. Okay. Now I have something like manual outline, automatic outline of data and subtotal and followed by pivot table. So we will take up one by one. So this is not required. Now the next concept I'm talking about is segmenting data. Whenever you have more columns and more rows, so we need to segregate that into one group or maybe group of columns, group of rows, just to avoid the hiding of rows and hiding of column. We know that sometimes we don't want this column. What we do, we just highlight the column and just we'll go to home and there is something like format. We say, or maybe you can say right click and say hide, so that column D and E is hidden now. Okay, column D and E is hidden. So to get that back, what we can do, we can highlight entire sheet. We can say unhide. So those columns are, those two columns are back on track. So this is hide and unhide option. But something more on this, we have something like data outlining using manual method and data outlining using automatic method. There are two things. Why manual and why automatic, I will tell you. Now that is depending upon data table. So in this case there is something like Netball Club season 4, just a dummy data. Netball Club season 4, they are playing netball and these are the games 1 to 10 they played against, how much they won, how much they lost, and the draw matches are specified using symbols. Whether the game won, this netball club team played against the Bullets. This again, you know that different types of names they use in US and Australia. So usually, netball club is a team. They are played the first game against Bullets, so they won the match. So they just tick that table. So manually tick the table. Then similarly, game 2 played against Golden Holdens. won the match. So like that here, draw. Here they lost. Against once again game number 6 Bullet, they lost. So like that, this table is created with the help of additional symbols to fill the data. Now, how to apply grouping or apply outline to this? So I have given a step here. So whenever you want to practice this, I have given a step here. So highlight row number 4 to 13. Remember, row number 4. Where is 4? This is the 4. So 4 to the first step I'm talking about. Highlight the row 4 to 13 until here. I'm leaving the first row. So 4 to 13 where my data is available. So 4 to 13 rows are highlighted. So once you highlight 4 to 13, go to data ribbon, then the group option, and not the automatic one, you have to choose group, right? Once you highlight the rows from 4 to 13, go to data ribbon, in the group you just hit group option. So now one group is ready. So one segment is ready. See, you can see the icon, one drop down icon with the minus symbol. Let it be. Next one, so this step is done. Next one, highlight row number 17 to 19. This is 17 to 19. So one of the other part of the table, 17 to 19. Again do the same option, group, group. Under same data ribbon, group and the group. So highlight row 17 to 19 is done. So finally, highlight row from 4 once again. This is actually the example. You can do it anyway. So again, I'm going with 4 to 13 is already done once, but still I'm going to have 4 to 21 till here. 4 to 21 till here. Once again, data ribbon and the group option. Now, by doing this manual, okay, I applied only manual thing. There are 3 steps. So what we have created? So we have created the data outline. So for that we have the segment 1, 2, 3. 1, if I click 1, we can see only data pertaining to grand total of all the match played, they lost, the draw matches. So ultimately I'm avoiding all those information, but only seeing that ultimately grand total. They won 10 match, they lost 2 match, one was draw. So that's what the final data is available. Just to present the data whenever we don't want to disclose everything. So we can have segment 1. Then what is segment 2? Segment 2, the first season, only the data. Then the result for the year, only this much data. Then segment 3, all are available. Entire table is available. And even if you are not using segment, there is an option. See, minus, minus, minus. So this is what the first one. If I click plus, or here in these 2 things, only part of the table is visible. This part is not visible. So we have an option to activate, deactivate number of rows whenever is required. So this is outlining grouping of cells, which is row. At present we are working on only row. You may ask, why don't we apply the column for the same table? Definitely possible. So now we are only working on rows. Suppose you don't want to show B, C, D, E column. You highlight that B, C, D column. So what happens here? Because my data is here, that is also distracted because not visible, because it is part of the column. So something is here. Earlier it was only we are working with the rows, so it was not affected. Now when I use this column B, C, D, E, and when I apply group, so that segment also created. So we have horizontal segments, vertical segment. So first one, second one. So segment is available. So you can check here. So nothing is available. We can see only data pertaining to Netball Club season 4, nothing else. So we have an option. So horizontal and the vertical. So this is manually creating data outline. And even sometimes what happens, you have more than 15 to 20 columns in your office data. So in between there are 5-6 columns you don't want to use it. Okay, you can hide that. You can hide that using this method, and even column by column. Column number A group. So column number 1 is also added. Or in entire thing, if you want to have only two columns, that you can do again. That option. See, 1, nothing is there. 2, we have an option, and the 3, we have a sub options. However you want, you can make the combination. It is not alternative one, parallel one, because these are the table used with symbols. So automatic option is not available. Automatic is not applied. If I select one cell, any one cell, and when I apply auto outline, it says modify existing outline. So okay, so cannot create an outline. So we are not able to do this because these tables are not organized in the sense. So formulas, column, row, subtotal, grand total, right? Great grand total. So that is not available in this case because it is not based on the numerical values. So this is manually created outlines. Accordingly, we have one more thing, automatic outline, one more sheet. So here, this sheet, we can also create step by step like manual one, but here we can apply straight away the automatic outline because the data is nicely aligned. Say, how nicely aligned? So this is the labels, row labels, January, February, March, and data. So January rent, January running cost, and the loans and bank fees. Similarly, February rent, and whenever we say January, February, March, so first quarter data ends here. So first quarter data ends here. Then total of first quarter for all the area, rent, running cost, and bank. So that is 84 lakh 69,005. So the clear cut instruction on calculation as well as data alignment. And after first quarter, then there is a second quarter, April, May, June, second quarter ends, then there is a total. And here also second part, there is a subtotal 1, subtotal 2, then the total expenditure. Nicely organized data. Now, in this case, you just click on any in between any one cell, any one of the cell, then go to data ribbon and just to auto outline. One click, that's it, one click. So the entire table is aligned with horizontal and vertical outline automatically. Then I'll tell you one by one. So 1 and 1. Okay, combination 1 and 1. Either you can use this plus minus symbol, or in this case 1 horizontal and 1 vertical. This is for column, this is for row. When I hit 1 and 1, I can only present the data total expenditure to 27 lakhs 62,000, or maybe 2 crore 76 lakhs 29,546 data total expenditure for the year. Now next one, 2, I just clicked only 1, 2. It says that first subtotal and the second subtotal, and here I am going to click 2. So here 2 and here 2. So it is avoiding January, February, March. Total expenditure, first quarter, second quarter, and the total. Then I'm going to hit 3. Okay, hit 3 means these 3 things, these 2 entries are visible. And here also I'm going to hit 3. So month, quarter, month, and quarter. So that's how we can check. Or even we have this option. Say this. Quarter 1, first quarter, second quarter, and total. Or you can also remove. So total only available. First quarter, second quarter, and the total. Here also. Right? Here also. So this is how outline can be created using automatic option. So here we can't apply that automatic because here we don't have a calculation or not in place, because we are using symbols, something like labels, something like labels also here, like on game one is not a numerical value. This is also not numerical value, and this is also not numerical value. Just a count of 8. How you got this 8? We have calculated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 they won. So they put a 8 here. There is no formula. But here everything is aligned. See this, total of January, total of February in every corner, total of March. Here also, rent, total of January, February, March, 1,77,036. Correct. Here also, sorry, here also, second row also. If you take this way or this way, subtotal, by total, everything is in proper place. So we are able to apply this automatic data outline. So I think this is clear. Now you don't have any query on this because it's very simple. The next one is, apart from data outline, we have to apply subtotal. Sometimes we require subtotal. So let me clear first, clear outline. So we'll have clear remove. Okay. Now there is some data. Say year, sports and sales in rupees. Year, sports and sales in rupees. Now if you want this filter, or you can remove that filter, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just clear filter and remove filter option, not required. Highlight the table, then click on data subtotal. So there is option data ribbon, here data and subtotal. There is option subtotal. So when you apply subtotal, there is something like the various segments need to be provided. At each change, what you would like to check. So you have three column, then there is a label. So you can go by, or you can get the subtotal by year, or by sports, or by sales in rupees. That you need to there too. So now here I can choose anything. So let me show you one by one. If I choose year, okay, there is a year. Then function, which function you would like to use? Subtotal means usually we'll have sum or average or a count. So I'll just show you with sum. Later you can add one by one. Now, sum function, my first at each change in year. So I'm going with the first column and use sum function. Then add a subtotal to where? Because my numerical values are in column number D, or here in column number sales in rupees. So I'm going with this sales in rupees. It is not that I can also take this total below this sports. That also possible, but it is too confusing. Now I'm going with the sales in rupees column and replace current subtotals. If you have already applied anything earlier subtotal, that's going to replace with a new one what we are applying. Then if data is huge, at present only from row 1 to row 15, so you don't require any page break. Otherwise, if you have a more data, so you can click on page break so that you will see the difference of page 1, page 2 while taking printout. Then summary below data. Summary means we don't get any write-up here. So ultimately you will get grand total. Summary means grand total. Anyway, we are opting for subtotal of each sports segment. Ultimately, all the sports segment lead to the grand total. The value needs to be a grand total. So summary below data. Summary is nothing but grand total. So I'm going to apply this. Remember what we started with, at each change in year. Then function is sum, and we are going to add the total below sales in rupees. Remember, just click OK. Now we have seen that we have taken the year, so 2009 total is 2000. 2010 total is 4000. So 2012 is 3 entries are there. 2012 cricket, 2012 football, and 2012 baseball. So 2012 total is 9500. So like that, 2013 and 2014 with a various sports segment. Then total of 2014 is 16,000. So grand total is 46,500. How you got this 46,500? All the total. Remember, total of this and this, and this. So total of 2000, because it is segregated by year. So 2009 one, then 2010 second one, 2012, then 2013, 2014. There are 5 years, 5 different years, but multiple entries. So we have total as 46,500. 46,000. So that is what grand total is displayed, 46,500. So year-wise total, see it's written. So year-wise 2009, only one 2009, so 2000 only. That total is added. So 2010 only baseball entry, so 2010 only one entry. For 2012, cricket also there, football is also there, baseball is also there. So 2500, 3000 plus 4000, together 9500. So anyway, once again I'll do this. So subtotal, I'll just remove everything. Once again I'll go back, highlight the data, subtotal. This time I will take sports segment. Year is done. So this time I'll take sports. Then the last option you can work with sports. So sports item, I'm clicking sports item because I would like to show you that one football is here and one football is here. How the data is going to arrange in the proper manner, I will show you this. Now sports. So sports is a column. You can use same function. Then total, where you would like to add the total as it is, because sales in rupees is the column for values, numerical value. So let it be as there. I can also go back and apply here in a year, this total under the year. That is also possible, which is wrong actually. Sometimes we get confused. Then say sales in rupees. Then all other things are same. Replace current subtotal, summary below the data. So all are same as it is. Just apply. Remember, this time we are going with the sports and sales in rupees. So now 2009 football, we are going with the sports segment, say football 2000. So wherever that year is there, 2012 cricket. This time how many rows? So nearly 30 rows are used, but we are getting the same result, 46,500 only. But multiple entry will be there because we are going with the sports segment. See, 2014 baseball 2000. So then total 2000. 2014 cricket 2500. So that total is, because only one entry, the total is 2500. Football only one entry. Football total is 5000. So cricket. So altogether we are coming to the same result, 46,500 only. But the more number of rows are created. You can check here, more number of rows are created. How many rows? Now in this case, from 1 to 30, 30 rows are generated for simple calculation. Now once again, I'll just remove everything, subtotal, remove all. Actually, how many rows are there now at present? If it is a fresh data, 1 to 15 rows are, 1 to 15 rows. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 15 rows are there. So if I apply first method, year method, and this is same. If I click on that, so I have only 21 rows to get the subtotal. If not, if I use, remember, if it is a normal, 15 rows are there. If it is go with the year, so we have 21 row to use. Then when I use one more method, sales in rupees, again I'm taking sales in rupees and total is also sales in rupees. Now again, how many rows? Now almost 28, 29 rows. But we are getting the result. See this 2000, 2000 total, 2000, 4000 baseball total. That is also possible. That is what, Harsha, we can go with any combination. There is no restriction at all. Okay? There is no restriction at all. Remove all. Highlight this. Subtotal. Sports segment. Sports segment. See, that's what I'm using. You just said that. Can we have this data with sports summing up all the year? Sports and summing up all the year. So I'll just list sports or year, in this case year and the sports segment. That is also possible, no issue. Sports and the year. Sports, see this year 2009, right? Because sometimes what happens, the data is not calculated, so it says goes with 0 0, year and sport 0, because only 1 0, no entry at all. Now if that is the case, so we need to take help of the filter segment. Some cases what happens, if you want to filter, so filter we can go with A to Z combination, where we have baseball, cricket or football. Years are changed, right? Years are changed. Now we can apply this option, data and subtotal. Then year, you can also use year, or you can also use sports, then sum under sales in rupees. That we can summarize. This is also possible. See, various year baseball, various cricket, yes, pertain to various years. So this is something you can say within 19th row we can get the data created. But ultimately the result is same, 46,500 only. Okay. I hope this is what you wanted. Harsha, I think this is what you wanted. So we can, yeah, that's with filter only. We can have that. Otherwise, we can with a normal combination. Because we have an option to do that, why you to use the different method. So this actually manual outline and automatic outline and the subtotal option you can work with. Then the next one is I think you can take a pure table. Yeah, there is a table which has all the options like date, order ID, product, category, amount, country, subcodes, everything is there. I think maximum data is integrated. Now how to create the pure table and pure chart, let us see one by one. Now you can highlight the table, entire table, then go to insert, then pure table, not the chart, we are talking about pure table. So when I click on pure table, there is something like select the table or range. So that is what the table I provided as a name as the table 2. So that's what the table. Then new worksheet or existing worksheet. Where to create a pure table. So that is what the question. Choose where you want to have this pure table. So new worksheet or existing worksheet. Existing worksheet is almost half completed or half occupied with the data. Better we can go with a new worksheet so that we can see the skeleton of pivot table in a new sheet. But data is same. Data is from pivot table to sheet only. Data is from here. But I'm going to create a new sheet for table. So new worksheet, then click OK. So the fresh sheet is created. Okay. Now, when we say what is the difference between a normal table and the pivot table, why it is required, and when exactly the need arises. So that's what the question, and even I think Harsha sent the same question. Now, I'll just go back to pivot table sheet where my data is available. Suppose this is what the table, already you have a table. Why we need to create a pivot table? That is the question. Now, again, you have a table, you have a complete report, uh, nicely arranged with the color, font, everything is correct. But now sometimes what happens, your manager or maybe your reporting manager or maybe need arise, he is asking about, can you create a data based on this table? Say I want date and I want amount. Suppose if you say I don't want entire table, but I want separately date should appear and amount should appear. So usually people think that, okay, he's asking only two column. Let me copy this column A and let me copy this column E in separate sheet. Then you can hand over to him. Suddenly he says, okay, that is one small job done, agreed. Suddenly he says, for so and so date, can you have, can we enter the product as well as which country? Then again we are adding one more column, two more column for product and country. Sometimes he may say that filter the date where carrots are sold or broccolis are sold or bananas are sold. Then again the implication starts or problem starts. So you'll think that how to insert this or how to avoid that particular product. So the implication starts. Now when we say implication start, so we have to go for a pivot table where based on the criteria, based on the requirement, the table is going to generate automatically. So for that only we have highlighted entire table, then clicked on insert pivot table, and our pivot table skeleton is ready, like base blueprint is ready. Now once you click on this, so this is what the base is ready. Nothing like pivot table, just a base actually. Before constructing a house, your blueprint is ready, building plan is ready, and you have a material. On your right side there is a material, like we use cement or sand or steel, right? So we are using, but here material is nothing like your labels. So these are the labels. So material is, each label comes with the data. So now labels are ready. Now assume that the same way how your manager is asked about, say he can say that, can I have the date please? I just have a date where the transaction took place. So we can just click on date. We can tell that you can copy this, you can paste it in some other Excel sheet. You can say, these are the, sir, these are the dates where the transaction took place. Then done. One job is done. Now again he says that, can I see on 6th what we sold? Okay, on 6th or maybe on 28th what we sold. As per this only data is available, date is available, but I would like to know on this date what I sold. So what we think now, okay, what I sold, that means he's asking about product, which product we sold. So I can click on product. So as soon as I click on a product, say on 6th carrot is sold, on say maybe something I scroll down, on 5th I sold apple and carrot. So I can tell now, so because one more thing is created. Now even he may ask you now, if it is on 6th we sold carrot, Can you show that carrot pertaining to vegetable or a fruit? She may ask you. Carrot belongs to vegetable category or a fruit category. So now you are thinking of how to tag those things. So when I click on category, so carrot, it says vegetable. Then banana, which says fruit. So data is nicely organized. But still, the way it is organized, not good. It's not to produce somewhere because it looks like the huge number of row, the big column A, using almost how many rows? You can just scroll down, still a bit. You can see that there are 548 rows when compared to pure table, the actual data. Somewhere it is in within 214 rows. But when we see this sheet 16, sheet 6, so my row is something 548. Till then, my data is generated. But still, we are having correct data only. There is no wrong in data. Now you may or he may ask that, can you show column wise? So date, product, and the category, because not one below the other, one after the other. He's asking you. That's what the criteria. That is what the problem comes. So now he's asking, you are absolutely right. This is what I wanted, but can I have this in a column, side by side column? Date, carrot, and vegetable. 7th, 7th January 2012. Then broccoli, then the vegetable. Because I know that now broccoli belongs to vegetable. So I want that side by side. So now what you can do? So you start shifting data here and there. So as of now, the rows, so this is a row segment, this is a value segment. Value means to calculate whether it is you want a sum of certain fruits, sum on certain dates. So this is a value field. As of now, we have not come to that point. So column means something like BCD. So you may think that your manager is asking date is here, then product is below in the same row itself. Can I move this product to column? So when I do that, so it is going something like parallelly. He is asking one after another, not as a parallel data. So sixth vegetable and sixth the apple, then vegetable. So like that it has to come. But by doing this, I am just confusing myself. So I say product and category. So apple, fruit, banana, fruit, and beans, vegetable. So I'm tagging data somewhere in a different place. Still, I'm not satisfied. Okay, still I'm not satisfied. So I can do one thing. I'll bring these people back, and somewhere here, wherever you want, you just click here and right click. There is something like pure table option. Something like pure table option, where you have something like display. Okay, right click. Once again, right click, pure table option, then display. Here in display, use this option. Classical pivot table layout enables dragging of fields in the grid. So this one you can use. So now when you do this, now what your manager is asking, something like this: date, vegetable, and carrot. Now something like, because vegetable total we have not, as of now we have only activated date, category, and product. Okay, date, category, product. As of now, we have not activated amount or a country or a subtotal, because when I say total, there should be a numerical value. As of now, it is not activated. Maybe you can remove that. How to remove this total? So right click. So there is a field setting where it is asking always about total or something like that. You can just say none. So we don't have, and even for date total, what I'm going to do with this date total, it automatically comes. So field option, you can say none. Date, don't do anything total of the date and all. So now my data is something clear. This is what I wanted. My manager also wanted the way we have organized the data. Now even we have something like a plus minus symbol, because whenever there are more dates, so sometimes we have this minus plus symbol. That is nothing to do with this. Now again, next one is, now you guys are done with the date and category and product. So can you have amount for that? I would like to know that on 6th January, vegetable sold, which is carrot, and for how much? So when I say how much, so click on amount. So amount is highlighted. So when I say amount highlighted, see category, product. So on 10th, fruit also sold, which is banana. On 10th, I sold vegetable also, which is beans, for 2626 rupees, 2626. Now again, my data follows. So till then, till where? Till I'll get the my total of all the product and category and the amount. So that is what, this is where the pivot table is required. Okay, this is where pivot table is required. Then once we do this, uh, now, so as of now, this is clear. Now your manager asking, okay guys, you are done with the table, but I would like to know where this vegetable and carrot sold on so and so date. I would like to know which country you sold. So I'm just looking for country field. So I'll just click on country. So country is added now. Okay, country. Suddenly the data is tagged vegetable, or sorry, carrot sold in the United States. So even this also you can remove, field setting not required. So United States. So you sold something like this. Okay, or maybe you don't want, you are well qualified, the carrot, what is carrot, belongs to vegetable or belongs to fruit, that. So now I think you can remove this category, not required, unnecessary taking one more column. So we know that we sold some product, doesn't matter which belongs to which category, whether it is fruit or vegetable. So just remove that category. I removed that category. I don't require anymore. So carrot, United States, and the total number of here. So this is how, so data is generated now and then, played with the data now and then. Next thing is, so once we are done with this, we can also have an option of, suppose if I take category, okay, this category, I'll just remove this. Okay, if I reactivate this category, then I can bring this category to a filter level. Any product or any label can be brought under filter. So this category, I'll take this to a filter. So filter is added. Filter is added. So what is category? Fruit or vegetable. Suppose I want now both are activated. Fruit is also visible, vegetable also visible. Visible here. Now I put that category to a filter segment, where filter segment is added here. Now in this case I want to know only fruit element. Select multiple. Okay, I want only fruit data as of now. So I just click on remove all, or select all, or remove all. Now I want only fruit data. So when I click this, so only fruit data belongs to various country. Only fruit. You can check the accurate data you will find on the screen. Only fruit, nothing else. There is no vegetable at all. Only fruit. Then suppose if I put country to a filter, double filter, triple filter, that is possible. Now, as of now, you are clear with the category, fruit, everything. But I want to know that, uh, select multiple. I want to know that what is my status in Australia. So what is my status in Australia? So I just highlight Australia. So only Australian data is visible. See, and that too in variable dates, in sequence. Australia only, and maybe I want Canada, so Canada only, or I want Germany, so only Germany data. So this is how we can generate the pivot table. I think this is what the simplest way I wanted to tell you. I can remove this, I can bring that back from the filter. Still filter is applied whenever clear filter from segment, clear filter from the category. So I have a complete data on this. Okay, so this is how your manager is harassing you to develop the content or the table the way he wants. So this is how you can generate and create a table or report for him. Now based on this, there are certain other activities, uh, designing part. So again, just now we have completed subtotal. So that option is also there. We can apply this. Do not show subtotal. Show all the subtotal at the bottom of the group. Show all the subtotal at the top of the group. That we can apply. So do not show means there is no subtotal. When I say show all subtotal, so day wise, that means date wise, subtotal is applied. See, caret subtotal is applied. Or maybe wherever your cursor is there, okay, wherever your cursor says subtotal, add the subtotal, caret subtotal, there is option. So subtotal is added everywhere in one single click. You don't have to select 4 column, 5 columns or entire rows, not required. Suddenly you don't want, do not show subtotal, removed in a second. Grand total also, off the row, on the row, okay, off the row here or on the row, yeah, just below, yeah, here, grand total of the row, remove it, on row only, particular row only, then column only, on column itself, or of the row, or row and column. So that is how you can also take this option. Then report layout, show in a compact form. Sometimes you want a compact form. Okay, this is something you have icon or this one and all. So you can say report show in a compact icon. So compact one. Compact means see date, caret, United States, vegetable. So earlier the initial stage what we have done. So it will be a compact stage, but rows are more than I think 1,000 now crossing. Yeah, no, not 1,000. I think it's 777 rows. Compact stage. Then show in an outline form, the very short outline form. Show in a tabular form, one by one after another, tabular form. Repeat all item labels. Repeat all item labels. See, 10th, 10. So here if it is not there, repeat all items. Now 10th, banana, Canada, fruit. Okay. Then one more blank is there, being sold on the same 10th date, but here 10th date is not visible. It is not activated because it is unnecessary duplicate of the data. So if at all required, here option is there. Repeat all the item labels. So 10th, 10th, 11th, 11th, 16th, wherever the transaction took place. So that is activated. So that is all building of report. Otherwise, you have only unique records. Remove duplicate one. Then blank rows. Insert blank line after each item. At present, see here after 6th, 7th or 8th, whatever it is. So we don't have anything to bifurcate it. Insert blank line. So every transaction, blank line inserted. Think of inserting manually. Maybe you require 2-3 days. But this is what the beauty of pivot table. So one click. So we have added with one blank cell or blank row, right? Blank row or remove blank line. So yeah, remove blank line. So these are the reporting component. Then here show header. So show header or show column header. That is for table. So table concept. branded rows or branded column. So here the lines which you can activate or deactivate, branded rows and columns, and pure table styles. So we can work with a lighter part or a medium or a darker part of the pure table. So we have three components: light, medium, and dark one. So you can check with this darker part. So these are the styles. And here again we have option banded columns, banded rows, because there is the lines, graph lines, or header or row header, highlighted one, bolded one. So this is how you can build the pure table. Now, okay, I think yeah. Now suppose you left one blank column to build the pivot table. Lavanya, this is what I think you asked now. Maybe one column or two columns, doesn't matter. I just put one new empty column A and column B. Definitely doesn't matter because it's just switch the referencing method and table is as it is available. It's actually a waste of space for me. Otherwise, there is no point in if I remove something or if I put anything blank, so it will not affect anyway. Now, this is how we are building the data table or pivot table. Apart from that, people are saying some buzzword nowadays. I want to build the dashboard. Okay, dashboard is nothing but activating analyze options. There are some analysis of data, not exactly analysis. Yes, you can say insert slicer, insert timeline. That's the important one. And insert slicer. When I say insert slicer, say date, order ID, because order ID I not activated, that is not required. Product, whichever is activated, that only you select. So date, product, country, uh, yeah, country and category, then the total. So that is what the amount. So I'm just taking slicer for only the selected range because it will cross my screen. Usually, if you have a bigger screen, so then it is nice to work on this. So I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 labels are activated. So 5 I'm selecting. So now I have a slicer. Maybe I can just zoom out. So this is what the slicer. This is what the people say dashboard, or maybe you can align one below the other. Also, we can uh, change the color of your slicer tool so that people are exposed to the colorful screen. Yeah, right. So this is something like uh, the dashboard, and even remove ruler. Okay, these things are not required anyway. So fine. Now, so these are the slicer tool where you can slice the data. Suppose this is your dashboard. You are not doing anything filter or anything like that. So this is your slicer tool. Suddenly, if I click on Canada, suppose what happens? If I just click on Canada, and when I click on Canada, your table is concentrating on only Canada. Suppose Canada, and maybe you are whenever you are in Canada, that means Whenever transaction took place in Canada, those dates are only available. See, otherwise, these dates are in a fade mode because transactions never happened here. See this. Others are deactivated. So only this is highlighted. So in this 28, so 28 in Canada we showed orange. So specific data we can directly jump. Don't move to filter or move to the column section or move to row section, not required. So I started with Canada. I just click on Canada. I just clicked on the date and suddenly on that date orange we sold in Canada and fruit category also deactivated with this option. Vegetable is deactivated because we wanted 128. Suddenly I clicked on something, or you can remove this filter suddenly. You can get the data. You just click on this, so data is back on track. Or you don't see data table, suddenly amount one. Say for example, 7490. Suddenly 7490. You clicked on 7490. You will reverse order 7490 fruit, France, apple, and date. Ignoring all this slicer, suddenly specifically going to particular topic. This is also having uh, something like filter only with the slicers. So again, we can tell that. So this is what happened. So this is what the dashboard people say. And again, I'm removing filter. Or you want something combinational one. Say apple and say carrot and orange. Combinational one. So you hold your control key. How you are highlighting? If you click, it is not working. So you just say apple, hold your control key, apple and orange. So we have a data apple and orange. Now apple and orange sold in all the countries because it's highlighted as of now. Everywhere it is sold. So apple and orange, I would like to see only in New Zealand. So apple, orange, New Zealand. That combination also working out. So you take the criteria in any order, so you can generate the table. Okay. Now one more problem here. In this case, I just removed all the filter. So in this case, if I want multiple dates, say for example 1 and 2, right? Multiple dates. So here it is possible, multiple dates. But when I use one more option, I'll just remove this. I think this is not required now. Okay, I just deleted those options. So apart from that, we have something like insert timeline. Timeline means there is a date. So timeline, date. Here in timeline, again we have an option, timeline. Timeline means put into a date or a time. So again we have this, if you want you can implement. So timeline, again there is the option, year. So this entire data is pertaining to only year. So that year is available. 2012 only from starting 1st January 2012 to 31st December 2012. So if I go by year, so only year 1 is available. Or if I go by quarter, so quarter wise 1, 2, 3. So quarter 2 data. So quarter 2 is what? April, May, June. So April, May and June. So that data is available. So quarter wise data also we can segregate quarter 4. But if I use this, so I can't select the multiple ones, say quarter 1 and quarter 4. That is not possible. Holding my control key, say I am at present I want the data of quarter 1 and quarter 4. Say quarter 1 is highlighted, click on control key and quarter 4. That is not possible. It is not allowing you. So we are using the slicer option here. I'm using slicer date. So because I know that I can highlight the specific month. I can highlight specific month from here to here or particular month I can highlight. So I'm not using this timer. But sometimes it is required quarter wise or a month wise, say January, specific month. You can instead of highlighting January month dates, so you can just go with, or we have a filter option or November month or specific month. We can go with this, or you can go with the days. Days means individual date. See, in between you want series update continuously. It is not like alternative days. Say for example, in January you want 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So in that date, so actually only one date is transaction took place, which is on 16th. Even though I highlighted 12, 13, 14, 15, so there is no date at all, because in data itself there is no data. You can go back and check 12, 13 of January. You can go back to pivot table and you can check 12, 13. 12, 13 of January. See this. There is no 12, 13, 14, 15. No date starting from 16 only, because there was no transaction. So this is also one of the factor in dashboard. So using slicer tool, insert slicer, using insert timeline. So you can practice this, and accordingly, when we have developed this pivot table, so there is also room for, based on this table only, there is also room for insert pivot chart. So okay, pivot chart you can use anything, maybe pie or bar chart, because data is huge. So maybe pie chart you can use. So pie chart again. Right, data is huge, so you can also push this to a different sheet, or maybe you can use slicer. Okay, along with the pivot table, pivot chart, I'm using slicer, because I want to check, because it's huge data, so it's like all are clustered one now. So I just go with any one country. See, Germany. So various entries are still, it is congested, or there also if you want any specific one. So any specific data. So I have a specific data. Germany table is also adjusted. Pure table chart is also adjusted and clearly visible. See, Germany on the sold amount 277, 474 and 1903. So those data are available. And again, all other options are same. If you want designing or a layout, so with the data, legends or without legends, these are all again the same thing. You can go back and apply this. So data is available, then color combination also there, simple single color, multiple shades, that is also there. And in this also we have the combinations. Which one you want, you can decide. All right. So this is pure table. Anyway, we have done that pure normal chart. So based on that pure table, whenever we apply the filter, so accordingly pure chart, or maybe um, change chart type to line chart, or maybe bubble chart or a scatter chart, but that is not possible. It's a huge data actually. Right. So please practice. What are the things we have covered today? So one is HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP true method. Then I have discussed chart. Then after that, data manual outlining, automatic outlining, subtotal, pivot table, pivot chart, and insert slicer, insert timeline. So these are the things I have discussed. Now I think next sheet, so next session I think I have left with the data validation. then data dynamic validation, consolidation, apps. So there are four, five topics are left over. So maybe coming week only we will finish your batch. So once we complete, I think I can send some more materials. Anyway, uh, yeah, definitely I'm going to send now the previous session link one by one. I will send. Uh, I'll just close this full screen mode. Yeah. So those who are not attended the session number 8, so I'm just sending the link now. Yeah, session number 8, recorded link. I just now pasted. You just copy that session number 8 recorded link, and this was my session number 9, and we'll have one more session to close it because another 5 topics left over, and let me complete that macro as well as apps as well as data consolidation, one more important topic. In data consolidation, we have two methods. One is normal method, one is combinational method. That also I'm going to share. So Excel sheet, definitely I'm going to share right away. Just give me 5 seconds. Yeah, you can collect entire folder from here. That is from session number 5, 6, 7, and one more folder I will provide now. So this is again one more folder. There are two folders I sent. So you can copy data from two folder. Maybe I can send it for next session also. Why to wait? Why to wait now for one more folder? Okay, that's why anyway it's not required because all files are in these two folders only. Okay, just copy those two URLs. Just now I sent it. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the session. And again, we will meet in the coming week. Maybe we'll have session on Sunday to close this the remaining 5 topics. Okay, till then, have a nice day. Until then, and if you have any queries, you can send it to the email ID already provided to you. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Sure. Good night. Yeah, this is my email ID. Once again, I'm pasting now. Okay, I'll try to consolidate and send it to you. Okay, for your batch, for all my video recorded links as of now, as well as URL for all the resources. I'll put it in Notepad, and maybe on Monday I'll ask my admin to send it to you. Okay, thank you.